One morning, Alice the Atlantic engine was approaching Tidmouth station with a light express train. It was one of the new trains the Fat Controller had scheduled for her. She wasn't supposed to stop at Tidmouth, but the station master flagged her to a stop.
"What's wrong?"
Alice asked the station master. "There's a signal failure up ahead," he explained. "We can't let you through until it's fixed."
"I understand."
Alice replied. She glanced over at the tank engine on the line next to her. She had seen him before, either at Tidmouth station or heading for the branch line that ran up along the coast.
"My name's Alice."
She said. The tank engine smiled. "I'm Oliver," he replied. "You've only just arrived, haven't you?"
"Yes. Gordon rescued me a couple of days ago."
"I heard about that from Donald. You were lucky."
"Yes, quite. You had a narrow escape as well, didn't you? Gordon mentioned you and Douglas had also been saved."
"Yes," Oliver agreed, "but it's a bit of a long story." Alice looked along the line to where several workmen were repairing the signals.
"It looks like we'll have some time."
Well, my story starts in 1968. I was working on a branch line near Fairford with my auto coach, Isabel. I was working with William, another tank engine. He handled goods trains, and I looked after passengers. We had seen more diesels and less steam engines on the main line, but we never thought it would have affected us. We were wrong. One summer afternoon, I arrived at the station at the far end of the line to find the station master waiting for me. He seemed a bit sad, and I soon found out why. "Oliver, the directors have decided to dieselize this branch line, and passenger operations will be first. You're to be replaced tomorrow." I couldn't believe it. "What's going to happen to me?" I asked. He glanced down for a minute. That told me enough. "They're going to scrap me, aren't they?" I asked. He nodded sadly. "I'm afraid so, Oliver." For the rest of that day, I couldn't really concentrate. I was still worrying when I backed down into my shed later that night. My driver and fireman came around in front of me. "As much as I would like to escape," I said sadly, "I guess this is goodbye." The two of them exchanged a look. "Not necessarily," replied my fireman. "We'll see you tonight, Oliver," added my driver. With that they left, and I wondered what they had in mind. It had started to rain lightly a few hours later when they returned. While my fireman got my fire going, my driver came around to talk to me. "There's an island off the northwest coast called Sodor," he said. I frowned. It sounded familiar. "Isn't that covered by the Northwest Railway?" I asked. "Yes," my driver replied, "but its controller, Sir Topham Hatt, has no plans to dieselize. If we can escape there, we should be safe." I grinned. "Then let's go," I replied. Once I had a fire going, I chuffed off to pick up Isabel. We had worked together for years, and I wasn't going to leave her behind. I quickly told her what was going on. "Excuse me," said a voice when I had finished. I looked over to see an old brake van sitting on a nearby track. I had seen him there before. He had been sitting there unused for months. He introduced himself as Toad. "I couldn't help overhearing what you were planning," he said, "and I am due to be scrapped too. I was wondering if I could come with you?" "Of course," I replied. We quickly picked up Toad, and the three of us chuffed off into the night. I couldn't help feeling worried when we reached the main line. We'd had a clear run down the branch, but now that we were on the main, there was a bigger chance that we could be spotted. After all, they were still running some freights at night. I stopped next to where the signalman was waiting. "Evening, Oliver," he said. "You should be clear to the next signal box." "What if Control gets wind of us?" I asked, worried. The signalman shook his head. "I've slipped you into a gap in the schedule," he said, and so has Jerry in the next signal box. Thank you, I replied. With that I left, to continue my escape run. As arranged, we received clearance at the next box as well. We continued in this fashion, being passed from signal box to signal box. They weren't running that many trains that night, and we were lucky we hadn't passed one in the other direction. But soon, our luck ran out. A diesel-hauled freight passed, in the other direction. "What's this? A steam engine escaping?" growled the diesel as he went past. After that, we all knew it was only a matter of time before Control found out about us. Sure enough, we were flagged to a halt at the next signal box. The signalman told us that Control had put out an alert to all railway personnel. "You can't hide here," he said, "but there's an old quarry branch at the next signal box you may be able to use. I'll let the signalman there know to expect you." "Thank you," I replied. We chuffed off as quickly as we dared. We soon reached the next signal box, and the signalman there directed us onto the abandoned line. It was in a small cutting, and my driver and fireman quickly filled the entrance with branches. Once that had been done, all we could do was wait and hope we weren't discovered. The next day, we could hear diesels baying and growling like hounds outside. I think my wheels were trembling most of the time, but fortunately they didn't cotton on. The next night, the signalman came down into the cutting. "You should be right to leave now," he said. "There are no trains scheduled for an hour, and Control has called off the search." It took about 10 minutes for my driver and fireman to clear the siding. Just as I was leaving, the signalman came running up, frantically waving a red flag. "There's an unscheduled freight extra coming through," he said. "I've only just been notified of it." Even as he finished speaking, I could hear the approaching growl of a diesel hydraulic engine. I knew I wouldn't be able to get back in hiding in